Rock and roll. Alright, so welcome back everybody. You are watching the Gigabyte Dota Masters Tournament. This is I think this is Group B, Group of Death. I'm pretty sure this is Group B, but...
No, this is Group D.
Oh, it's Group D. Alright, Group D for David. So we've got Duskbin on the die side, and this is a team everybody, including myself, has been so looking forward to playing. They've transitioned over from Heroes of Newerth, and we'll see what kind of... And they were a pretty good team. And Heroes of Newerth never really got to any really good land scenes, though, because obviously being stuck in Southeast Asia. Not a huge Han scene in Southeast Asia or even Australia, not that big. But now I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do in the Dota 2 scene. And of course, Mith.trust, a very, very strong solo mid player, very strong solo semi-carry player indeed. We'll see what he can do, but they're up against Inv-Red, who have just come off a loss against SQL. Sequential gaming. Now, Inv-Red, they're on the rating side, up against Duskbin on the die. But, God, any predictions here? You said Duskbin have been training really hard.
They've been training really hard. Well, training together, they've got 4 of their players currently in Singapore in a sort of boot camp mode. Mr. Swish, their 5th is actually not yet with them in Singapore. He's going to be joining them on Friday, but they've been training hard. They haven't been playing any actual official matches though, so I don't know what really to expect in terms of picks and strategies. I'm just expecting them to definitely be a very strong opponent here for Inv-Red, who had a solid game there against SQL, but in the end did get slightly edged out. Yeah,
I don't think they made any huge errors. I think they played pretty well. It's just a couple of things went really wrong. Like that early courier kill was huge for SQL. The Queen of Pain was getting out of control in that top lane, and losing the courier was just such a huge blow. But Duskbin have banned the Prophet, so we won't be seeing him doing any courier sniping. Invasion, though, they've banned Tidehunter, they've banned the Brewmaster. We've still got Lycan on the board here. I'm just wondering whether or not he might actually sneak through once again. We'll see what they can do. As yes, Duskbin has indeed dumpstered many Horn teams. It's just a shame they never really got to go to any of the big LAN games, any of the really big stages and play on there. But they did relatively well on online tournament play, and they were really well mannered, really professional. As we saw, one of the few teams who have actually showed up on time, ready to go ahead of time. SQL actually being the other team who's done that repeatedly, and big players. So shout out to them for all being very well mannered, very professional. Morphling, though, are the final ban for Inv-Red. Now, who's got the first pick here? The Radiant do have the first pick, so they might try and sneak in that Lycan if Duskbin don't ban him.
Yeah, and Morphling a pretty unusual ban. Maybe something that Inv-Red know that Duskbin like to use. We are going to see the Anti-Mage being banned. I'm slightly celebrating here. We've seen a bit too much of that hero. Much like I feel like I've seen too much of the Darkseer. With a lot of big scary heroes left in the pool, including the Invoker, Chen. Looking around, I'm sure there's some other big names. Windrunner's still there, of course, as well, but not really your common set of bans here, with Tidehunter as well as Morphling making the ban pool, and even Prophet and Antimage seeing less ban action as well lately. And Leshrac, another top pick, which is still in the pool as well. Yeah, and also Chen and Enchantress, who often wind up in the first bans as well, also being left on the board. The question is, will anybody try and pick them up? I'm just waiting to see what kind of solo or semi-carry hero they give to Mr. Switch. That is definitely something I want to find out, because he has done so much major damage in the Hon scene with that. But Invoker picked up first by Inv-Red. They have managed to get their little greedy mitts on him. And, well, he's an all-round really good, really strong utility hero, can push, has great AoE crowd control, can even assist in ganks from all across the map, has a lot of versatility. That's why he's really well fit. I mean, it's the same reason people are worried about Windrunner. She's just one of those heroes who can do just about anything you ask of her. She's very, very versatile, so can fit into any lineup and doesn't give anything away there. Yeah, I won't be surprised if Duskbin here pick up the ES as well as the Windrunner. The ES is, it's not a hero you see often in the European scene, but these Asian teams have been picking it up with their first, second pick non-stop, and they're going to go with the Chen. So Duskbin, possibly one of the few Southeast Asian teams which do like to use Chen, and we're going to see just how they can use it. That's going to really help deal with the Invoker. The mid-game, I mean, if he goes for the Tornado EMP, Chen is a great hero to get Arcane Boots as well as the mech up on, and even if he goes for the more sort of Focus Fire build with the Cold Snap and the Sunstrike into the Forward Spirits, Chen is still an okay hero to deal with him in the mid-game and give them a strong team fight using that ultimate as well as the mech. I mean, the heals Chen gives is sort of unparalleled by any other hero in the game. And here's something a little weird. We've got Lycan still in the ban pool, well, Lycan still in the pick pool, and nobody has first pick. They've gone, you know what? We don't need Lycan that much. He's not that awesome. We can just, like, I mean, because we've seen teams, like, Lycan is definitely very powerful, but if the lineup doesn't favour him, there's no point picking him. And obviously, if you can pick something to mess with him as well that will just sort of counter him or just won't make him that viable, it's also perfectly fine to leave him alone. So in this case, it looks like both teams are not worried about Lycan at all. They said, you know what? Not a big deal. We can deal with it if they pick them, but otherwise we're not interested in using him. And there's Leshrac, the big AoE pickup. My god, is he strong. The question is, will they use him as a support, or will they give him the money? Windrunner, though, another semi-carry, not really semi-carry, but a utility hero. Very versatile utility hero being picked up. And I'm thinking we might see a couple, I mean, we're probably going to see the Invoker solo mid, I'm guessing. Yeah. Windrunner probably Suicide solo, so I'm thinking maybe a couple of aggressive supports to go with Leshrac. I think Leshrac is just going to be run as a support here. I mean, they probably want to pick up some kind of right-click damage for their trial, and especially I think partly why they're picking up this Leshrac is they saw how well SQL used him to push down hero as a support hero. So Invasion Red is saying, okay, let's use Leshrac ourselves, and they may just do the same and run it as a support hero here, and then pick up some kind of carry or semi-carry. Although some of the obvious choices, the Morphling Anti-Mage being taken out, the Rookie's still there. I mean, that's a sort of somewhat popular pick by some of the European teams, but haven't really seen it used well by any of these Southeast Asian teams. We have to see what they want to go with here. Next few bans can be coming up now as Vengeful Spirit is the go-to hero for Duskbin, and that means it's going to be a farmer Vengeful Spirit because they've already got the Chen and the Earthshaker, unless they want to do Earthshaker as a farmer, which we've only seen Giggles have the balls to pull off.
Indeed. But I mean, fast blink on Earthshaker can be pretty damn good, just so he can get mobile, and even just, you know, allowing him to get up a couple of supporting items is not such a bad thing either. But I mean, you're right, they could be putting pressure, like, I mean, they could be farming Vengeful Spirit as well. That is also possible. I mean, we saw that last match, it did happen. I mean, maybe they'll try and give Chen a bit of, I mean, fast mech, fast Argonims would really help out the team as well. So maybe they'll just say, you know what, Chen, go and get your cash, go and get your farm on, you know, help push and stuff like that, but save all your money for your items, because he does well with items as well, I would say.
Yeah. And we do see in Beastmaster banned, so Invasion Red don't want to give them another aura to push with. They've already got the VS, which is a nice sort of pushing hero, even if it is being played as a farmer. Just the right-click damage you get. The Howl is good for pushing, so is that plus damage aura. And Beastmaster, I think, is a very smart ban. If they got Beastmaster with some right-click DPS, such as a Mirana, that's a very strong team fight. Great mid-game push that we could see coming up from them. Duskbin going to ban the Enigma, maybe thinking, okay, they picked up the Leshrac like we saw SQL using last game. Maybe they want the Enigma as well as their jungle hero. But we're going to have to see just what Invasion Red want to go with here. They need another support hero. Maybe, I mean, what if they're running the Leshrac as one of their support heroes? There's not all that many options left, unless they want to get something like the Enchantress in the jungle, but they may want to get something like a Sand King, I think, would be alright here to combo with that Leshrac, or even the Shadow Demon still in the pool.
You know, just we still haven't seen this side. You tell me this Silaver is so feared in the Southeast Asian team. We've seen him banned a few times. Still have not seen him anywhere. Have we seen it? Maybe we saw him in one match in the Open Qualifiers.
Maybe in the qualifiers, but I don't think I was even. If you did, I don't think I was in that game casting because I don't remember seeing it yet. And I'm pretty sure the first time we're going to be seeing it is going to be one of the Chinese teams using it.
Yeah.
They love to run it as a solo mid or in that safe lane. Yeah, crazy farmers. You saw Burning play that that anti-mage mid, and even his DK mid farm ridiculously fast. He's likely to be the first person you see playing that lone druid, or possibly Ehome. They're another team who might use him. But the last few bans coming out, Shadow Shaman, the ban for Invasion Red, another strong pushing hero being banned out, and Sand King is going to be banned by Duskbin, so that's going to limit Invasion Red's options for their secondary support hero, or whatever support hero they want to go with that Leshrac, and I think Sand King, a very smart ban there, and we're going to have to see what Invasion Red want to go with. It's going to be a Brood. Okay, I think that's a smart pick. I completely forgot it was still in the pool.
Alright. I was about to say, Duskbin might... I mean, one of the heroes that Mr. Swish was well known for... Yeah, there we go, the Queen of Pain. I was about to call it, the Wretched Haggle from Heroes Note. They have picked up Queen of Pain. I would be surprised if it's not him running it. He has done some terrible things in the online scene. He's completely decimated teams with that Queen of Pain. Although, arguably, Hag is a little bit stronger because her ultimate also attaches the Shadow Dagger to it as well. But, regardless, I still think that Co-op is still pretty damn strong, so we'll see what she can do. We'll see what Mr. Swish can do, and undoubtedly he's been practicing pretty damn hard with it. But one last pick for the rating. So I'm kind of expecting another support hero here, just because I don't think they'll run Windrunner support. She'll probably be more likely a Suicide. And there we go. It's Crystal Man being picked up to complement their line. And it looks like you're right. They will be running support Leshrac. I don't like it, but it's doable. It is doable.
Well, it could be fun. They could run CM and Wind. I mean, it looks like it's going to be CM, Windrunner, Leshrac trialing, which is 3 full-range heroes that could put a lot of pressure onto whatever Duskbin trialing is they're going to be up against. CM is nice against the Chen. You can frostbite those creeps that he controls and then stop them for the full 10-second duration. But maybe they're even going to put a support hero with the Brood, because the Brood is their main source of damage late in the game. So they may say, okay, we can run one of the supports with Brood and then run the other one maybe with the Windrunner or with the Leshrac. Or trialing Brood, probably not the best bet, because Brood does need those levels.
Pudge.
And Pudge! Duskbin unleashing. We've seen one Pudge from GOG did not used all that well, but now Duskbin going to try their hand with it.
All right, and Mr. Swish is taking the Queen of Pain. However, I noticed the chat have been calling Cast will take the Chen. That's not the case. I've just seen Earthshaker has been picked up by Cast. You can see on the left side, and Chen being picked up by Arcean there. Or maybe it was, I think they were calling whether or not it was Arcean or Cast, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people were saying Cast was going to Chen, but he's not. He's playing the Earthshaker now. And Ninja Boogie going to
And we're going to see the Chen Pudge combo, where you can send Pudge back to base with a hooked hero. we better see it at least once, man. I'm counting on it. I don't think that was their sole intent with this Pudge pick, but it's definitely a viable way to use him in the mid to late game, especially if Pudge gets a boost to travel. You send him back to base with a hero, that's a kill, and then Pudge can TP right back in. So it's actually a viable mid-game strategy with Pudge, if you can get up, if you're farming well, and if you can get those boots of travel.
We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Just let me change scenes 1 second. Alright, here we go. Duskbin versus Inv-Red. Again, everybody's with Duskbin, the team everybody's been waiting on to show them how it's done. And of course, there has been a lot of hype around them. Of course, myself slightly guilty of this. I haven't seen them playing yet, but I have been hyping them up just because I've seen what they've done in Heroes New, and I think they can bring the same kind of trouble to Dota 2. But a 4-man sweep here from the Radiant side. Invasion Red, rather. Invasion Red. Sweeping their own jungle. Just trying to get, I suppose, looks like they might be tri-lane down here possibly. I'm expecting Invoker to go mid, and it looks like he's gone with the Exalt build.
I like the Exalt build. I think it gives a lot more sort of map presence. You can use the Sunstrike in those side lanes. You've got the Cold Snap if the CM, Leshrac want to think mid, the Cold Snap is great damage tool, and Pudge is going to be at the bottom lane. And I don't know if it's going to be a side lane solo Pudge. That would be something a bit unexpected. But Invasion Red, 4-man sweep. Same goes for Duskbin at top. They're going to maybe run into the Broodmother here. Brood is going to be sitting in that web. Although he is currently not invis. Yeah, now he's going to go invis. As doesn't look like... Oh, they have got sentries on the Chen, though. And he's going to pass them over to the ES. It is going to be Vengeful Spirit played as a farmer, I believe, based on his current items. So VS, ES at top with the Chen. A bit of a dual lane action with Chen coming out maybe for some ganks. As mid lane is going to be Mr. Switch playing Queen of Pain against the Invoker, and it does look like a side lane solo Pudge. This is something very unconventional.
Apparently, Invasion are having a slight problem here with their PC, and again, Duskbin very well managed. They've waited for hours for reconnects before. It's been pretty damn nuts. As Invasion would like a shout out to Zane with a double N. That's from Oh My, the orange player there. See the Broodmother asking for a shout out to Zane, whoever the hell that is. As Ninja Boogie asking for them to wait, apparently Duskbin doing something on their end as well. But yeah, silent solo Pudge, what the hell?
He's going to struggle. He's not going to be able to get any farmer XP. Look at this tri-lane he's up against. Windrunner, Leshrac, and CM. Oh my god, that's going to be a horrible lane for Pudge. They can just give this... Leshrac is going to be played as a farmer. It's going to be a support Windrunner, which I agree with. I think that's a smart decision. Leshrac can have a much bigger mid-game presence than the Windrunner. And Windrunner is not going to be buying all that many wards. It's going to be mostly the CM. So Windrunner can still maybe look to get up that mech. It'll come a lot later, but it'll still get brought up eventually, especially if Leshrac can push down some early towers. And Leshrac, level 1 Diabolic Edict, maybe going to look for some early aggression, but I have a feeling Pudge is just going to be tower hugging for a long, long time.
I don't know how he's going to get any experience. It's just going to basically, he's going to step out, and the Crystal Maiden and Windrunner are going to be all over his case. And if he gets too close, Leshrac even, they jump him with a stun. He's all sorts of dead, especially once he gets a few levels in Edict. So I'm not sure, unless they're planning to rotate the Earthshaker even if Earthshaker shows up there, it's still not going to work. The melee hero is not going to be fantastic. It might be able to keep off and counter stun if they try and take a run on the Pudge, but still not exactly going to be fantastic. So I'm really not sure how this is going to work out for him at all. A very, very weird start. Alright, they're ready to go. So we'll see how this Pudge works out. Looks like he's going to wait for that 0-minute rune. I'm going to hope he finds it bottom. Or not.
And it's going to be top, an Illusion Rune, which is going to... either ES or Chen will take it. Maybe just the Chen so we can clear some neutrals a bit quicker. Yeah, it is going to go to Chen. And Brood at top should do okay here. There are the Sentry Wards there, but just the ES and Vengeful Spirit, I don't think those two heroes can kill him alone. Now we're going to have to see just what Pudge can do. They are going to do some de-warding right off the bat, deny Pudge of some vision, but now Pudge knows exactly what he's up against. Going to scout this Leshrac as well and just think, oh crap, I've got to stay really far back. And he may try to put down a ward in this sort of jungle area near the bottom lane, but CM has another D-ward ready.
Yeah, I think he's just gone, screw it, this is working. He's just dropped all the way...
Oh,
no, you're right. Oh, okay, top lane. They might go for a kill. Yeah, they've got vision there. There's the illusions as well. The vision coming, the block, not quite successful. It doesn't matter though. They will clean up Broodmother for the first blood, and that's definitely a great start. But at the same time, Pudge has just gone, you know what, screw this bottle, I can't do anything. I think he's gone to jungle.
Yeah. I think he may look to just pull that small creep camp at top. He can just pull that and use that to jungle, because literally there's nothing he can do at bottom lane. He can't go out in that lane. The Radiant team have an observer ward, so they're going to quickly realize this. And if they're smart, they'll send one of those support heroes to go mid and help dual lane maybe against the Queen of Pain, or at least harass the Queen of Pain, because there we go. Pudge is jungling with Rot, going to take out this small camp. And I mean, hey, that's the best thing he can do in this current situation. So Duskbin, this is smart from them, I want to say.
Yeah, you see how much damage he took. That's definitely going to hurt. I'm just wondering if they're going to rotate. No, it looks... Oh, actually, they might even just double... I mean, they might even just double... Because, I mean, this has been a Dota 1 strat, where you double jungle. You basically treat the jungle as a lane, and you have your Chen or your Enchantress. You have a hero, like any random hero. I've even seen Chen and Dirge double jungle. It was really weird. But basically, just follow the Chen around, get experience, help him farm creep a little bit faster so he doesn't have to run his creep back to base quite so frequently. Even help them tank it a bit if necessary. It does work. It's not a terrible strategy, but you're right. He will be pulling this camp. I think he's stacking it first, and then he'll pull it if he can.
He's gonna be a bit late to pull the small cap. He's just gonna farm it with Rot, I believe, as maybe Chen will come help him out in a second. Chen can always send him back to base to heal up if he needs. But yeah, this trialing of Inv-Red, they're kind of scratching their heads like, sitting there. They should maybe pick up a smoke, look for a gank on mid lane, but even mid lane, it's a Queen of Pain. So these two support heroes are going to be looking to, they're just going to use this creep pull again, try to get some farming levels of their own. Maybe even CM could rotate to help top lane. I think CM is a nice hero to counter gank that Chen with, because you can frostbite whatever creep he picks up.
And now Pudge, I think he's going to try and pull in a second, or not. He's just going to stack again, maybe. I'm not... Oh, maybe he's waiting for the 45 second. I know, he might be waiting for the 45 second to pull.
He can't pull it to anything until the creep wave spawns. We could maybe pull it. I don't know if he can pull that wave to the creep wave, but yeah, he's just going to stack this by the looks of it. Yeah, he's going to stack it for later, although he's not going to be able to kill that for a long, long time. That's Queen of Pain at bottom room. Ooh, dodges the Sunstrike. And picks up a regen room. That was close for Queen of Pain.
Mr. Swish doing some good work there. And yeah, it looks like you're right. He's just going to save it for later. I mean, if you just suddenly take out a camp... In fact, just wait a minute. Does Rot and Smoke work? Similar to the Iron Shell trick.
Yeah, but you're still taking damage from the Rot. And that's where he's taking most of his damage. He's actually struggling against this one camp. Pudge may die. Oh, he's...
Epic battle.
Chen sends him back. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I love how the most epic thing going on is Pudge versus neutrals at the moment.
Not even just neutral, level 1. Level 1 camp. The easy camp.
Pudge is up to level 2.5 now, which is more than he'd be if he was just sitting at this bottom lane. CM Winrun are getting XP and farm though, using that little neutral camp pull as Winrun up to level 3. CM at level 2 and a bit. Leshrac should just be pushed. They should be pushing. That's what Inv-Red need to do. They're spending a bit too much time using that creep pull. And now that they've got this siege wagon here, I think they'll try to take out this tier 1 tower at bottom.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think anybody's really going to respond to stop them as Vengeful Spirit's busy. They're trying to keep Broodmother under control. Broodmother, I think, has got a... No, she's got the Soul Ring. It is on the way. It is coming as we see the Spiderlings get cleared up there. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, I'm just seeing how Mr. Swish is doing. 8 and 4 currently against Evoker, 12 and 7. Evoker's doing a little bit better at the moment. I'm going to throw that down to he's got some pretty crazy base damage at the moment over Queen of Pain. He's got like another 20 or so damage.
And bottom lane, they're spamming their spells. Stun, Nova, Power Shot, all on the creep wave, and now the Edict will go. They want this tier 1 tower, and with that Edict, they will be able to get... They've got the Siege Creep as well, and this tier 1 tower will go down. Inv-Red striking with the Siege Wagon. Well-timed push, and they're going to want to take out 2 towers here, because there's no heroes bottom, and if they can get 2 towers here, then they're going to be really punishing Duskbin for doing this jungle Pudge strategy.
I don't think this was their intention, but Pudge now, he's getting ready, he's thinking about it. He's thinking about... In fact, he might just stack again. Not yet. I think he might want his level... I think he might want the level 2 Rot first, just try and kill them a little bit quicker.
Yeah, he's going to be doing that smoke trick, man. He's got the smoke on him now. He may want the level 2 Rot first, or he may... Oh, he's going to go for it now. I don't know if he... Can he salve while rotting? Yes, he can.
Okay, wow.
Oh my god. He's going to get like level 5 from this.
And I mean, the Dire are pushing the top lane as well. So I mean, if the Radiant, if they don't respond, oh there we go, they aren't responding, so they're not going to lose this tower just yet. But wow, unconventional to say the least. Not your average Denby Pudge.
That's why they put out that. He's hit level 5. He's level 5 now, and that is, I mean, amazing considering he's just been jungling as Pudge, stacking those camp, using the Rot.
He's the same level as Leshrac. I mean, just think, if he wasn't jungling, he'd be like level 1, level 2 at best now. As Invoker takes out... Oh, Ventress must have dropped a really big Sunstrike somewhere. Didn't even see that coming.
Alright, someone in chat saying only level 4 Rot actually dispels the healing salve. So until he gets Rot level 4, he can use salves, he can use bottles while rotting.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then. Something I didn't know. I'll keep that in mind. Invoker, he's got his phase, but oh, look, he's doing 100 plus at the moment. That's very difficult for Queen of Pain to deal with. She's just going to try and get those bottles, try and get those levels up, and she's gone for the 1 in Shadow Strike, 1 in a Blink, 3 in Scream, And then one in her ult at level 6. She has picked it up. Leshrac now rotating. Looks like they're going to try and push down this top lane. The Spiderling army is massive. As I think I heard, Pudge just running away. I thought he might actually be trying to kill someone there. And this Spiderling, look, yes, he's going to walk around the corner and go, holy shit! Spiderlings launch themselves. No, they're just going to go for the tower now. Maybe upset Pudge just a bit. But yeah, the Dire, they do need to do something. They can't give away too many towers early on, or they are going to fall behind massively. Goldboys, and look at that. Throwing down that web, and here comes the damage on the tower. The Spiderlings Edict. Visher goes down. Can they get a hook off? It latches! Great work there from Lee. Nice setup. A great ambush from Duskbin. Getting a nice kill there on Leshrac. Definitely something they need to slow him down. And also defending this tower successfully. Although meanwhile, Vengeful Spirit has rotated the bottom. She's gone for a quick ring of Aquila and now busy trying to counter-push the bottom lane. Just get a bit of farm there.
Yeah, and Vengeful Spirit farming okay. Has 41 CS, in fact. Actually, 41 CS, I think that's the highest in the game, as Brood will pick up a kill at top. ES goes down. And, yeah, Vengeful Spirit is leading the charts in terms of farm. Does have the one death, but right now, Duskbin need to maybe start pushing down some towers, because they've lost both their bottom towers, and at the moment, Brood, Leshrac trying to take out this top tier 1 tower. Or maybe Leshrac will just return bottom, because that wave is pushing, so Leshrac can find some farm. But he's going to TP mid.
Well, I'm just waiting for Mr. Swish to get into it. I think he's going to wait. Like, it's one of those things. Like, Queen of Pain kind of wants to be about level 8 or so before she starts getting, just because she wants those early boots, early bottle, then she wants to get her levels up and stuff. Doesn't want to be wasting too much time, because if the ganks don't work out, it can be very annoying to get back into the swing of things. So I think it's right that they're just holding off on Queen of Pain getting involved just yet, just waiting for her to get the level 4 Scream, get her ult up and everything, and ready to go. I think she just got her ult just in case she needed it, because she's not really spamming her Scream just yet, although Pudge has been scouted out by these illusions. Although, I actually bit one of the illusions there. He couldn't actually see the fact that there are 2 more close by. Meanwhile, though, Brewmother, though, getting more and more aggressive, has pushed away the Dire defenders away from the tower. And looks like the Radiant are going to take this tower without too much contention. And the response, though, is coming from Duskbin. They are moving up top.
Yeah, Brood. Ohio used to actually play with Orange Esports. He was on the actual academy team, but he did stand in for some of their main team as well. He's a very strong side lane solo player. On the Brood here, he's got Tread soaring, so he's actually farming all right, despite being up against a fairly tough lane with the VS Earthshaker. And right now, I mean, this game is a bit all over the place. Inv-Red are up by 3k gold, largely because of those 2 towers at bottom. That pretty much makes up the entire gold difference, and the XP graph is very even. So I'd say, at the moment, these 2 teams, they're sort of neck and neck. No team with a big advantage. Shackle shot at mid will miss on the Queen of Pain.
The only thing that worries me a little bit is the late game. They might struggle a little against this Brood, but then again, they've got a couple of superior magic servers. They can kite them with the swap. They can also just bite down on him with Pudge, obviously. So I think they might be able to deal with them. The stun goes down. They've got, I think somebody had Dust up. I'm just trying to figure out who is this. ES there with the Dust, spotting him up. The Sunstrike comes in, doesn't succeed in striking anybody, and Broodmother, though, will get away. Unfortunately, Pudge is a little bit too slow to port in there.
And they didn't deny the tower. Broodmother got the tower with those Spiderlings. So that is going to help out Brood a lot, as Brood now picks up a quarterstaff. Going to be going for that Silencing the Orchid. And Inv-Red trying to push down the mid tier 1 tower as well. So they're up now 3 towers to none. Invoker's still farming away at bottom. He's up to level 8. Going to go for that quick drum of endurance. And Duskbin, they don't really have the best heroes for pushing down towers. I mean, Earthshaker, Vengeful Spirit. I mean, Vengeful Spirit being played as a farmer, not a great pusher. Unless you have some other DPS from some form, but they don't really have any heroes that really excel in taking out towers besides the Chen.
Queen of Pain getting annihilated. They just got set up by the chain stuns and taken out. Sunstrike even coming in there to finish him up. Unfortunate for him, as it looks like Invoker has been pushing this bottom lane super hard. Now, I've got to say, Broodmother is a little bit behind on the CS, but those early towers, like you said, have given us so much money. And Pudge has just been spotted up, showing up here. He might go for Silk, but he's going to be visible though. This ward should spot him, I think. Yeah, has spotted him. Windrunner just getting the deny on that rune. Sneaky. Popping in there, making sure Pudge can't go visit. He's really not had much of a good game. I just wonder why Duskbin thought solo Pudge bottom was going to... that was weird. That was really weird. I just feel these 2 early towers, there would be...
Oh, the hook finds Windrunner. I don't know if they can get the kill. He's out of range of the rot. He's not going to be enough damage, and... Shackle, Pudge in trouble, Sunstrike going to drop, and Pudge gets annihilated. The Sunstrike being pure damage just does a huge amount to that Pudge. And now this tier 1 tower mid could be in trouble.
Yeah, I just feel like Duskbin would be in such a better position if they didn't lose those 2 early towers in the bottom lane. It's just given, like, Broodmother, she's not doing that fantastically, although she has caught up just a bit since her lane is freed up, but she was a little bit behind, come to the 10-minute mark, about 10, 15 or creep or so behind. But those 2-3 towers have really helped her maintain her GPM, keep it up there, and now she's just steadily farming now. Just steadily farming, especially since the towers are gone. There's not much presence up there. The Invoker getting stunned. The swap as well. Fissure split earth. The latch though. The hook and the bite down. I think that is Leshrac. Does get cleaned up. And a very, very low ES. Does need to be careful. Dodges the power shot. Shackle shot pinning down Pudge. Chen's creep unfortunately getting in the way there. ES needs to be careful. Will Invoker go for a Sunstrike? He doesn't have one invoked, so probably not. Although, no, wait, no, I just invoked it now. I'm watching. I'm looking for
top lane. Queen of Pain taking a lot of damage there. Oh, don't even need the Sunstrike. Brood gets a solo kill on Mr. Swish. Mr. Swish not having the best game so far. 0-2 and only 51 CS so far. Brood is having a very good time at top lane now that the ES and Vengeful Spirit have both left the lane.
Oh, as soon as you... Like we've seen people like Quantix Link. As soon as you give him an inch of space to farm, he will go a total mile with it. The Broodmother is one of those heroes who gets catapulted farm, catastrophic. Like, she can just like start farming lane and then spawn the spider, send him into the jungle, start invading the enemy jungle with spiderlings and stealing all of the money in there. He's very, very effective. And that is a nice Radiant wall. They're watching for the Pudge hooks on the cliff, and like they can see, like they're pinging Pudge, saying, you know, look out. And I think the Radiant have just done such a good job of countering this Pudge, but as well as the fact that sending him bottom solid was obviously incredibly weird. I mean, I wouldn't mind it between matches. We can ask Duskbin, what was the reasoning behind that? Because it's definitely very unconventional strategy.
Yeah, they made the best with when Pudge went to the jungle with that smoke trick, but the problem is since getting those levels, he hasn't had much impact on the game because the wards coming from Inv-Red, as well as just constantly keeping track of where Pudge is and not giving him too many kills. There was the one on Leshrac at the top tier 1 tower, but apart from that, Pudge has not had a big impact on the game, and here we're going to see smoke towards me. Can Pudge hit a hook? They're going to run to 3 heroes. CM gets insta-KO'd. And the Shackle hits the Pudge, and Leshrac trying to get out, as Leshrac does hit a fairly nice splitter onto a couple heroes. Pudge taking a lot of damage, though. Yeah,
getting clipped by that Sunstrike. He might go for the kill. I mean, oh, swap. Great swap there from Bears. Can they get a good hook off? No. 2 heroes there are blocking the Suns. Oh, Cold Snap will finish up Pudge. And now the Invoker waiting. There is a Chaos Meteor. Ninja Boogie in some serious trouble. Hand of God being popped a little bit too late to save Pudge. But Ninja Boogie probably going to go down here. There is too much firepower chasing down. Also, Leshrac giving chase to Chen. Does Chen have a port? No, he does not. Shen also in a lot of trouble. There's a Frostbite. Easy kill. And I've got to say, Inv-Red really dominating this match at the moment, making...
And Broodmother at top lane even picked up another solo kill on the Queen of Pain. So things going Inv-Red's way all over the map. Not just that team fight, but top lane Brood not being controlled at all.
This is unfortunate indeed. I love watching Duskbin play. It's just a shame that they're not really hitting the stride that we saw in Heroes of Newer. So I guess, you know, it's still a lot of boot camp you can do in Dota 2, but we'll see how they do. Of course, I'm pretty sure Duskbin have one more match tonight, so we can see how they do as they're warmed up. Once they're warmed up, see how they go. Now, Chen rolling top. He is out of creep at the moment. He lost all of them in that last engagement. He will need to spend the next minute or so picking up new creep. Meanwhile, Christamane has got a lot of rev ward. She's got a rev ward left, and she has been doing the counter warding. Also, counter wards in mid from the dire side, looking for Radiant wards, and just missing that one over there. Good ward from the Radiant indeed. And again, Broodmother just free farming to a Heartskin. And in fact, she's got enough for the second Oblivion stuff, almost enough for the recipe as well for that Orchid. It is going to become very, very awkward for Queen of Pain once Broodmother once she gets that Orchid up. Queen of Pain is not going to be able to get anywhere near her.
Yeah, with that silent stick on Brood, yeah, Queen of Pain just cannot lane against Brood anymore. Already Queen of Pain's having a hard time with a couple deaths against the Brood. And now Pudge, I mean, we can see Pudge, no items on him either. He's just going for a couple braces. So all in all, Duskbin are very behind on items and farm. Vengeful Spirit, their farmer at top lane, just treads in the ring of Aquila. All their heroes very far behind, and I have to worry for Duskbin here. This kind of gimmicky strategy, which, I mean, with the Pudge, the little smoke tactic in the jungle, it was cute, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough here because they're so far behind in terms of farm, whereas the Invoker farming away, the Brood farming away, and even heroes like Leshrac and Winner are getting up some nice core items.
The main problem I have is not so much the Pudge strategy, just because I'm pretty sure that wasn't intended at all. They just made the best out of a bad situation. What worries me most is the farmer is a vengeful spirit. She's not that good in the late game. I just would have felt a lot safer if we had something like Morphling or whatever, any kind of other hero, like the most common hard characters. I just find this Vengeful Spirit pick very weird, especially to play her as a farmer. I definitely think it's very, very odd, but we'll see how it turns out. I think Morphling was banned though. Might have been banned.
Yeah, Morphling was banned in the first 3 bans, in fact, by Invasion Red. So maybe they know something we don't, that Duskbin like to use that hero. Antimage as well was banned in the first 3 bans. That one by Duskbin, but there weren't all that many good carries left in the pool. But even something like a Mirana could have worked out a bit better here.
Yeah, Mirana over Lycan was there. They could have lamed the Lycan.
Was Lycan not actually banned? Wow.
Not picked or banned.
That, but now Pudge at top, going to get picked off maybe by the silent stick on Brood. Actually, no, Brood kind of blocks himself a bit there.
Yeah, Spiderling Army working against, although it looks like they're going for the surround on Pudge. No, they just pull back there. Pudge actually rotting away on them, just going to pick up a little bit of CS there. As it looks like he's actually in danger. He might get nuked down here if he gets to... Oh! I don't know why he hung around there. He knew the Broodmother was around. In fact, she could have even dropped the silent stick on him just to amp the damage if she wanted. Ooh, a bit dodgy there, hanging around on that lower health. I guess maybe he thought he'd be able to survive, but now Chen is in trouble. Drops the stun though with the Centaur, will walk away. Arzian. Well, no, he's just going to snow. He is not hanging around. He will just try and back off there. The Frostbite, though, catching. Does Ninja Boogie. Here comes the Sunstrike. It does hit him. The Split Earth as well. Couple of attacks. Hand of God, though, going to just save Ninja Boogie in the split second. Oh, it was a nick of time there.
He's quite tanky. He has got treads as well as the Ogre Club. He's going to get sent back to base. I was surprised. I'm like, wow, that Vengeful Spirit is screwed. Then I'm like, oh, wait, it's a carry Vengeful Spirit or Farmer Vengeful Spirit. So he is on 1300 HP. And luckily for him, he did have those HP items. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Invoker still farming away. He's up to level 12 and also finished his 4-star, so some very nice items on him as Pudge gets picked off again at top. This time, though, he does manage to deny himself.
It's a small consolation indeed. Now, Windrunner has got in fact, she's got a couple of smokes ready to go. Might try and set up some kills here. Crystal Main actually farming the jungle because, I mean, she can do that with a Frostbite just to get a bit of war money up if she needs. You see, she's sitting on 200. Would have just picked that up from cleaning up this camp here. As I'm thinking, yeah, she's probably got some more Rev wards or maybe some Obs wards coming out. No, it's just a health potion actually, okay.
My gratitude.
Oh, it's not even hers, never mind. Broodmother,
and Brood, yeah,
probably
going to go for that BKB just to help deal with the Earthshaker, the Vengeful Spirit, all those sort of pesky stuns and AoE from the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain's actually just gone for getting as many cheap, efficient items as possible. Has a couple more talismans, treads as well. Sunstrike going at top. They're looking for the kill on Brood. Brood, though, going to walk away with this one. And ES in a bit of trouble, taking a lot of damage. The Spiderlings is there, pops down the fissure. Should be able to keep himself alive. Brood no longer dusted, though. May look to go back in here.
I was just thinking about a hook, although no, it doesn't connect, though.
I think lucky for him, if that connected, they could have just turned around and here we go. They are going to go on him. Splitter, Shackle Shot, oh, does not manage to latch on. And Pudge will go look for another hook, but Invoker's there as well.
Really doesn't want to get caught by a cold snap there. It would have been lights out for him, for sure. To see Broodmother just free farming this top lane some more. Has picked up that Ogre Club. Not too far. She's only 800 gold away from the Mithril Hammer as well. Meanwhile, it looks like Invasion Red, they're busy. They're going to try and push down this mid tower. Chen trying to hold this off. Chen actually sending Pudge back. Pudge going for... Oh, went for the Fountain Hook. Didn't quite connect. But like you said, I mean, they were going to try.
That's one of their few hopes of defending, because right now Invasion Red are looking pretty farm, pretty big. We're going to see Leshuk with an Ogre Club, probably going for that BKB. The Invoker with a lot of levels, a lot of farm. He's going to just TP bottom and continue this, because right now I don't think Invasion Red are too worried about pushing and ending the game early, because their late game is still really strong. They've got the Brood, the Invoker, even Windrunner and Leshuk. These are scale fairly well into the late game, whereas Duskbin, here is like Pudge, Vengeful Spirit and ES, they've got very little to none in terms of late game potential here.
ES with the right build. We've seen ES with the right build dominate the late game. But in this case...
It has gone to the Arcane Boots though, so it looks like it's pretty conventional stuff coming out from him.
In this case,
bottom lane though, they're looking for a game.
They might get it though. The cold snap down on Queen of Pain. Oh, Mr. Swish eating those Forge Spirits. Not a good result for him. Needs to get the hell out of there. He might go down the Forge Spirit. Blinks away the Shackle Shot going through from Windrunner. Doesn't connect properly. Mr. Swish going to teleport out, barely escaping with his life. Up to 1400 gold now. But again, Broodmother still free farming this top lane. They just cannot stop her. In fact, now knocking on the Rax's door. They need to do something about her indeed. They need to get... Like, I mean, they've tried a few Dust games, but she's just sort of run out of there faster than they can do anything about it. Which really is becoming a serious problem. Fishy goes down. Oh, they're going to lose ES here. He gets silenced as well. Here comes the Frostbite. Will they dive? No, the port's coming. He should be able to get away. The Spiderling Army retreating. In fact, Crystal Maiden might be about to get swapped under the tower. There it is. Gets swapped not in the tower. The VS in some serious trouble. Hooked out, though, by the Pudge. Getting the kill. Hand of God going to save VS. Throwing down the wave of terror. Echo Slam not doing nearly enough. The Dust does spot up Brood, but she's way too far away. Needed to latch on with some of the disables first before they went for the Dust, really.
Yeah, and now Brood getting closer to that BKB, only about 800, 900 gold away from it. Queen of Pain, not too much in terms of farm and items. Invasion Red with all the heroes and all the items they can hope for at this stage in the game, whereas Duskbin are slowly and steadily falling further and further behind. Although Vengeful Spirit, Ogre Club, 1500 gold, I mean, possible BKB there, or maybe, I mean, the only other alternative really would be to go for that Sanjan Yasha or Heaven's Halberd, but either way, not really very effective items, so I think it's going to be BKB, but have to worry for Duskbin.
Indeed. I'm kind of worried. Although watching the play today makes me want to jump onto a pub game and actually play some stupid jungler pubs. Start with nothing but salves and maybe one smoke. I'm going to do that, mate. I'm going to do that, actually. That will happen. That will happen later. But right now, Chen is all smoked up. Frostbite there. There's that Frostbite you're talking about. Annoying Chen's creep. And it's just going to pick him off. In fact, they're going to pick off a lot of Chen's creep, probably. They might even lose the Centaur as well. No, the Centaur will escape by the looks of things. Or not.
Nope.
Nope.
Good stun.
They want that. They want that Centaur. There's a hook. I heard a hook. Oh, he bit down on a creep! Oh no! He bit an ogre, but they get to the Shrek anyway. Frostbite though on Pudge, and he's still taking eating damage. Shackle down as well. He will get taken out. Queen of Pain though, she's got her ult up. No, not quite. 5 seconds away. And now Chen is using his last remaining creep to counterward a little bit.
Yeah, they took out the Sentry Ward, and both teams were trying to snipe each other's Observer Wards, and now only the Dying team have that Sentry though, so they may try to come back for the Observer Ward, but more importantly, Brood is still pushing away at top. And could even try look to snipe this ES with the silence, so the Vengeful Spirit is there, ready, waiting for either a swap or a stun on the Brood, who still does not have that BKB, but is getting very, very close.
Now Queen of Pain has come back to finish sniping that ward, does manage to collect, also finds herself a DD rune, but this whole time, Broodmother free farming the top jungle, free farming the top lane, and she's actually spotted up, needs to be careful. I think she's realised that they can see her just because she realises they're attacking her ward, and goes, uh-oh, I better get out of here. And then go farming the easy camp with her neutrals. I don't think this is relatively annoying for Chen, because half the time he comes here looking for creep and he isn't finding it because Broodmother's eaten them all.
Yeah, Broodmother is just farming away in those jungle, and he's now got the BKB in 100 gold, so next time he goes for maybe a kill on someone at top, he'll have that BKB ready, as ES is actually getting fairly close to that Blink Dagger, so that could help catch the Brood by surprise. The Blink Echo before the BKB gets popped. I mean, we saw it last game with SQL versus Invasion Red. You can kill the Brood when you get that Blink up on your ES.
Does need a little bit more, about 600 more gold, as well as it would be good if he gets to a level 11. Actually, I think he's going to manage. He's almost level 11 right now. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain sitting with 3,000 gold, just camping it. Maybe she's, I don't know, I guess Hex? It would definitely help out just a bit. But I'm not.
Yeah, probably Hex here. I mean, maybe if he did a BKB to help deal with the silence from the Brood, and there's just all those chain stuns with the Frostbite, the Shackle Shot, the Split Earth, and even Cold Snap. All these are very annoying for a Queen of Pain. And now Duskbin finally going to push down their first tier 1 tower of the game at bottom lane as ES at mid picks up a kill on the CM and Shackle Shot.
Great
finds
Shackle.
Chen at ES. Yep. And Chen will survive though with the TPs in.
A hook doesn't connect though. There's a swap though on Leshrac. Leshrac now some trouble. Chen doesn't get the stomp. Now here comes the stomp from the Centaur. There goes the whirlwind though. Gonna save Leshrac. No, not quite. He's slowed massively. And the bite comes down on Evoker. They've got dust necessary as well. I think they've been carrying that for a while. There's the dust. Spotting up Evoker. He will get run down. Maybe, or maybe not. The Shackle Shot on Vengeful Spirit there. More dust being popped. Broodmother is waded in the fight. Vengeful Spirit in some serious trouble. Power Shot going through there. Cleans up Chen. Windrunner getting that kill. And there's a Sunstrike. Will it connect? Not quite. A nice little dodge there. Ninja Boogie juking just to the right. Figured there was trouble incoming. And she will walk away. Meanwhile, though, Chen as well as Earthshaker, they got the Invoker in the end. Queen of Pain did run him down. So I think a decent trade. I mean, they couldn't really have asked for much more considering how far they are behind at this point in time.
Yeah, that was, I mean, for this point in the game, they traded kills, but they came out slightly on top. ES will get slightly closer to his Blink Dagger. He's now only a couple hundred gold away, so Duskbin, maybe with this Blink ES they can defend, but I still fear they don't have the pushing power in the late game. Even though they can maybe win teamfights outside their base or while defending their base, if they win a teamfight, they still can't push down the towers and use that to their advantage well enough, because late game, Leshrac, Invoker, Broodmother, these are the heroes you want that can push well, whereas the Dire team have nothing really at all. I mean, Vengeful Spirit is not that great a pushing hero, and that's going to definitely cause them some problems later on. I
agree. Pudge, I think he's waiting. They're all waiting up here on the high ground, hoping Broodmother will come down, swap her under the tower. And there is that Earthshaker's Blink Dagger, but they're hoping they swap the Broodmother under the tower, get Pudge to bite down, and just annihilate her from there on in. Now, Brood should have a BKB up by now. In fact, no, she used it during the last fight. Yes, so she's got it up and running. Saving up another 1,400 gold. I would not be too surprised if we see like a butterfly or even a Monkey King bar get popped out here.
Yeah, those items will probably come up a little bit later on now. As CM still adamantly de-warding near this top lane, being very, very spot on with the warding to Captain Shen GG, and mid lane we see Invoker, Windrunner, trying to just pressure as many lanes as possible, and I like this. They're making Duskbin split their efforts between defending top, defending mid, and even trying to counter push at bottom where Queen of Pain currently is. Queen of Pain going to go for the Lincoln Sphere. So Mr. Swish, a very late ultimate orb, also has a Perseverance on his stash, is only a couple hundred gold away from that Lincoln Sphere. I guess, I mean, that's a way to stop the Brood Silence going right onto you, and there's a lot of sort of target disables that Lincolns can block.
In fact, he just sold off some, sold off Null Talisman, bought a couple of teleport scrolls so he can get back home base to defend if necessary. Meanwhile, Pudge is down here as well. He's got his teleports. He's also gone for a couple of braces. The ports are coming back to defend though. Leshrac is here. Queen of Pain, they're revealing herself. Maybe they're hoping Pudge can get the hook in. And I'm just surprised. Invasion. I keep calling them Invasion. Invasion Red, just not. I thought they'd gone for it right about now. They've got a big advantage with the Broodmother that is going to be very difficult to deal with, but they're holding back. They're being very, very sort of conservative. But I guess it's because they don't have the pipe, they don't have the mech up and running. That's my feeling.
Yeah, they need the pipe, they need the mech. They'll definitely help them out a lot with their push.
Hook on bottom.
And
no, it doesn't connect. Not even close. Too far away. They will just try and push down, but uh-oh. Yellow's coming. As a whole team, the entire Radiant team pretty much, except Broodmother is down here now. Queen of Pain getting hit by that cold snap. Does blink away though, and will teleport out successfully. Pudge, on the other hand, still trying to fight Leshrac. I think he probably should have teleported out. Cancels to dodge the stun, but now he can't port. Oh, he's made a terrible mistake. He was
hiding in those trees. He could have just... Oh, he gets the hook on Leshrac. He gets the kill.
Alright then, I'll take that.
No. Yeah, he's going to be happy he got that kill. He is going to be laughing. He was
so screwed.
He was in the jungle hidden. He could have just TP'd home and lived, but no, he's like, okay, I'm going to go for this hook on Leshrac, and missed it then. Oh, he was lucky to get that kill, because that was a big mistake for him.
Oh, he would be laughing himself stupid. Now, Invi's been picked up. They're snaked by the Windrunner. Out from underneath Queen of Pain. She's got... Actually, she does have a mech, actually. Didn't realize that. Windrunner has picked up a mech. Pipe. I'm looking for a pipe. Invoker. No, he's going for his Argonauts now. He just picked up a cloak to help deal with the magic damage from ES Pudge as well as Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, I am surprised. Well, she's finished the Lincolns. That will help her out a bit. I am slightly surprised. I mean, she's going to go into this late game and be relatively ineffective just because, well, I suppose they haven't got the pipe up and running yet, but there is BKBs on a couple of heroes on the Queen of Pain. I mean, there's one being built now on the Leshrac. It's almost done. He's only about 700 gold shy of that. So she's going to become less and less effective.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Queen of Pain, not the best hero going to the late game unless you're going for some damage and disables like the Sheepstick or even Sheepstick BKB and then later getting some damage on it. But this Brood is just not being dealt with. It's going to go on the Vengeful Spirit at top. The silence is not popped, so Vengeful Spirit actually gets off the stun, and now Vengeful Spirit tipping out as that will keep him alive. Brood picking up a Yasha, going to, by the looks of it, just go for a Manta style and just use that to help push into the enemy base. And Invasion Red, quick pause as they are having some game engine problems, but yeah, Invasion Red struggling to push on in. They've taken all the outer towers. They haven't managed to break into the base yet. And maybe they're going to have to get that Aegis, get that Roshan down, and get that extra life to deal with the breaking into uphill, into taking those tier 3 towers and racks.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about a bug where they can't type. It does happen. Actually, it's happened to me a few times yesterday. It's just, for some reason, you cannot type. It's just no buttons on the board work. They don't type letters. So, obviously running that issue, but they're back and rolling. And I questioned why Vengeful Spirit came out, because she's known Broodmother's been in this. Like, Broodmother has not left this top lane. I don't know why she came out and thought, you know, I can farm this lane, I can stand here in the middle of nowhere without any vision of Brood, because she's just going to do exactly what she did, surround him with Spiderlings, block him in, and then just beat the crap out of him and force him to BKB out and waste a charge on that. So very questionable play there from Ninja Boogie, but Ports, Broodmother actually leaving the top lane for a change, coming down the bottom lane. In fact, the Dire are mostly down here with the exception of Ninja Boogie, which might hurt them just a bit because some of his swaps have been very technical. And a smoke gank from the rear, going to catch Pudge with a Deafening Blast. Doesn't do a whole lot though. Pudge now trying to get the bite down, gets silenced though by the Brood. Doesn't get his ult, the Echo Slam goes down, doesn't do a whole lot. We've lost Pudge, we've lost Earthshaker, we've lost Chen. And it looks like we might lose, or Queen of Pain, did she teleport out? It looks like Queen of Pain did manage to escape. Mr. Swish going to mid lane, and there is that power of that smoke gang coming in from the rear. Not that they really needed it, but it worked out in the end.
It became a numbers game, 5v4 without that Vengeful Spirit. And Invoker, I mean, they tried to focus down the Invoker, but great play coming out from the Brood, who silenced the Pudge ulti, and then Queen of Pain couldn't do enough damage as Invoker used that Force Staff to just sort of avoid a lot of that damage. And now the push is going to come in from Invasion Red. They want this bottom lane. Chen is going to respawn. Chen cannot do anything at all. Queen of Pain, no ulti for 90 seconds here, and this is going to be very hard to defend. Although Vengeful Spirit with the BKB does have a bit more survivability, but they may just lose Rax here.
Yeah, I don't think they can hold this. Although Pudge is up in 3, maybe they can. There's no Echo up though, which will be the issue. The stun goes down the Brood. Just trying. She's got the BKB. Swaps. Doesn't BKB. That's Vengeful Spirit BKB. Gets hit by the Bishop. They've lost the tower. Echo. Oh, Earthshaker gets picked up and lifted. And it looks like Brood will. No, she gets taken out in the air. I'm not sure what got her there. As we've lost Windrunner, we've lost Earthshaker. Brood, I think, just brought back. Pudge now trying to bite down Crystal Maiden, though, getting hooked. She will go down very low. Pudge goes down. One last attack there from the Invoker. Do they have a Dust coming in? No.
They've already used their one Dust to kill the Brood off. I think it was just a Chen right click that killed the Brood. Brood survived on like 10 HP, and Chen says, oh hey, I can right click you, and got that kill. But now Invoker survived, and they only got the tier 3 tower out of that, and Brood fighting back. So Invasion Red, they get held off, and maybe that was just a situation where they should have just gone for Roshan, because the Dire team, they're still fairly low level, so they all respawned nice and quick there and were ready to defend. Even without the Queen of Pain ulti, even without the ES ulti, they still managed to hold that off.
So I see Highest Sky asking, when does eHome play? They play during week 3, so not next week, the week after. They're busy with Dota 1 stuff at the moment, so that we won't be seeing them until later in the tournament. But they will play pretty much all of their games during week 3, so you'll get to see them then. So don't fret, don't freak out, don't flip. Now, ASEAN, this Chen looking so poor at the moment, has been struggling indeed. I'm just going to bring up the Jeep Gold. Oh, wow. 14k advantage right now for the Radiant side, looking very difficult for Duskbin. Duskbin, though, they do have one more match. I think they're up against GOG as soon as this match finishes.
Up against Neolution.
Oh, Neolution, my bad. It was one of those teams from yesterday. But Neolution, yeah, they'll be playing up against them. We'll see how they do against Neolution. But Pudge right now, again, just stacking braces. Looks like he might be, he's just got the early cloak. Might try and pull a full hood. But, I mean, maybe he's just picking up because that's all he can afford for cheap survivability at the moment. Invoker moving in. Queen of Pain, though, blinking out before she gets into trouble.
Queen of Pain has picked up a gem to help deal with this Brood moment. That'll definitely come in handy. Brood is got the... I don't know if Yasha or Manta is the best time to get here. Maybe should have just gone for pure DPS, either the MKB or the Daedalus. Even the Butterfly you mentioned for some of that evasion. But I think the Yasha, it's an okay item. I mean, maybe the Manta can help cause some confusion, but right now, Invasion Red struggling to find the opening, and we also see, also a gem up on Crystal Maiden, so both teams picking up a gem, going to help de-ward, and basically neither team is going to have many wards up on the map, although currently the Dire team and Duskbin have managed to get some protecting the top river as well as the bottom river.
Yeah, not sure how much longer the last board, though. Broodmother's still free farm. They've got 22k, 2200 golds up, 22.2k saved up. Just wondering what she's going to go for next. We will see. Queen of Pain building a very late Arcanum Scepter. I'm not sure if I like this. Gods, I don't know, maybe she's looking at maybe at best, I think, a 35, 38 minute Scepter. I don't particularly like it.
I think it's okay, because I mean, it's one of those items that if you want to use Queen of Pain, your ultimate regularly, you have to have it. The cooldown without it is 135 seconds. And with it, it goes down to 40 seconds, so it just reduces that ultimate cooldown by such a large margin, not to mention get the increased damage. So I think it's still a good item, even late in the game, because she's not going to be doing any right-click damage. It's all going to be the spell damage, the nuke damage, and she needs to hold off the pushes. So I think it's okay.
All right.
For me, I question more the Lincoln Sphere. Maybe it should have been a BKB or a Sheepstick, as now Invasion Red finally decide, let's go for Roshan. And they should be able to take this, maybe not all that quickly, but they will. Let's see, they've got them in Downing, so this should be a fairly easy push for them, although they are sacrificing their top tier 1 tower. And here goes the TPs. Duskbin maybe want to fight this.
Well, yeah, they are TPing back, although Roshan, not having any of that crap, has actually chased them all off at the moment. They're pulling back, realize, you know what, we could be in a bit of trouble. Realize that the Dire team did indeed respond to something. I think it was, and they were correct. Now, scouting it out with the illusions. Smart play from them, making sure they don't walk face first into this counter gank here. And I think they've realised that Roshan has taken some damage, so they need to make sure they protect this. I see the Sunstrike going out. Oh, it is just going to double check, make sure there is no Dire people in there farming. They see that Dire are checking, but they're not. Oh, they are. Okay, they are going to go for it.
Oh, this is... I don't know if this is the right decision. They can't kill Roshan very quickly. Pudge are going to use the ultimate, so if a teamfight breaks out, Pudge
Oh,
is never
yeah.
going to be on cooldown, but
And a team fight that
Invasion
will
Red
happen. Oh, they're smoked up. They're charging here. The whirlwind being popped
they'll
though.
get Roshan though.
Well, they get rushed there. Chen is on standby, out of the way. The pipe gets popped by the red, so Queen of Pain now getting stuck in. Hand of God gets popped. Crystal Maiden popping the freezing fields. Mr. Squish getting hammered there by the cold snap. Goes down, has to burn the Aegis, needs to port out before he gets silenced immediately. Blink out, needs to blink. No, gets stunned straight away. Didn't even get a chance to blink, and they lose their gem. That was not a good rush. Although then again, I suppose, I mean, it was either that or they let the Radiant have the rush. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, that was not a good... probably still not the best now, because now their mid lane is going to be under fire. They were probably better off just giving up the Roshan and trying to defend 5v5 fight where Invasion Red have to push on into their base. Even with the Aegis, they'd have a better chance. And now we're going to see, it looks like an attempt on bottom racks. Queen of Pain dead for 40 seconds, can't buy back. And Earthshaker as well, down and out for 10 seconds. So he's going to be back with the Blink Echo Slam soon.
I mean, they got the rush. I think their main problem was they stayed to fight. And they didn't just immediately bug out. Like, Queen of Pain did not need to be there, and it's a good hook from Pudge.
Went to the fountain hook.
Yeah, managed to collect a Spore Spirit instead, though, unfortunately. But I feel if Queen of Pain just bugged out immediately, they might be able to hold this up. I mean, they might have lost somebody else, like the Earthshaker or something, but I mean, they could have afforded to. And like Shen there popped his ultimate, so he wouldn't have been that much use anyway, so... I just feel if Mr. Swish hadn't got caught out, had just blinked away immediately, instead of trying to fight them, they would have walked away and been able to defend this. Well, they only lost the... Oh, well, they lost the bottom racks, actually. They didn't just lose a tower. Lost a tower and a racks.
Yep, and ooh, quick pause as Mr. Swish has disconnected, and I'm still waiting, man. I'm sure we're going to see at least one. A fountain hook is sure to come, especially when they're constantly defending. I mean, that's one way they can defend. Have Pudge line up a hook, Chen send them back. If they can get a fountain hook, the fight becomes 5v4. Pudge can TP back in, because, or doesn't even have to TP back in, because they are already in their own base. So that may come into play a bit later, although Invasion Red so far have been very on the ball, keeping track of where that Pudge is, not letting him get in position. Brew has picked up an Eagle Song, so going to be going for that Butterfly by the looks of things, as he's just going to be sitting on that Yasha. It's a nice cheap item, gives some movement speed as well as some agility, so not all that bad on its own.
I agree, I enjoy it too, but Courier has got a gem. Looks like they're shuttling the spare gem back. Leshrac got his drums, got his... Oh, looks like he's building a Bloodstone now. Both teams calling go, so we'll be back in action in just a moment. Pudge, I guess, I don't know. I think that might be a BKB he's trying to build as well. It could be an Argon's, but I'm thinking BKB, just to try and help with the sheer amount of magic damage that he's suffering in the middle of these fights. And Winrunner has sort of broken off, just trying to do a little bit of counter war. Oh, she doesn't have the gem anymore. Who's got the gem? Nobody has a gem. Alright, oh wait, no, there it is. Crystal Main's still carrying the gem. Might just go
the Dire team have lost theirs though, so I guess the other gem was either destroyed or maybe...
It's on the Courier.
The other one's on the Courier, yeah, so they've got a backup gem if they need it. Although they're not using it for the Indu series, they're just using it for the dewarding. As the Dire team though still managed to get up a lot of wards up all over the map. They've got 4 wards up currently, so... CM not being all that proactive there, as CM is actually farming away in the newts. Come on CM, do your job.
She said, no, I need, I saw what Daddy did, I need this Vanguards, I need this Sanjin Yasha, I need it now, I need this. Broodmother though, farming enough for everybody combined, going to take as many neutral camps as she can at once, she's incredibly greedy, plus farm a lane. Invoker here, just losing his Forge Spirits, so scouting. Now Broodmother knows there's trouble nearby her. And randomly Chen has brought the Courier into battle with a group selected, accidentally.
Venture Spirit has managed to get a fair bit of farm, has the BKB, going to be going for what looks to be a Manta style. So with that, Venture Spirit could do some late game DPS, and as a range hero can maybe sort of do okay against the Brood, but Brood has a Butterfly coming, so I mean with that evasion, Brood will go to town.
I don't think Venture Spirit has a hope in hell at this point in time. That is my honest opinion. She's just, I don't find her that great as a semi-character. Short range is kind of annoying, not that awesome an animation, and just the main... There were better options left. If you wanted the fun, why not Mirana? Mirana has such a great utility skill, can get people, can like get her team in there early, get Pudge in a point blank range, get ES in a point blank range, just so damn good. That Moonlight Shadow.
Yeah.
Really don't agree with the Vengeful.
I don't know if you noticed, but Invoker's gone for the pipe, so they've got up for the pipe, the mech. Invoker has such great utility, he's got such a great... I mean, with the Aghanim Scepter, he can use so many spells in fights. He can use the pipe. He hasn't got any drum charges left, which is great to see that he's been using them throughout the game. And he's still sitting on 2.5k, maybe going to go for that sheep stick now, as Invasion Red are just... I feel, they've got a massive gold lead. 15,000 gold lead, and the XP graph is a lot more even than that, though, as right now, Duskbin not completely out of this. They can maybe hold on, and as we've seen, Invasion Red have had some problems pushing into their base.
Well, but the rough start, I mean, he died so many times early on, just getting soloed by that Broodmother. Mr. Swish has a surprisingly high GDM. It's up to 400. I did not expect it to be quite that high. Broodmother nearly 500, shy of 500 GPM. She's doing very strong as per expected, just because she's been left alone to free farm pretty much as much as she wants. But right now, I don't know why they're just really holding off here. I'm just waiting for them to just gun for it. I mean, they've got one Rax, they've got the tower down in mid. But they insist on just... I mean, they've got the pipe, they've got the mech. Why are they holding off? Do you think they're just waiting for Brood to get completely stacked on items, or...
I think there's not really any way they can fight against these overfarm Radiant Heroes. The only good fight they can find is going to be in their base.
Why aren't the Dire... I mean, the Radiant pushing into the Dire, yeah. I mean, Brood is stacked right now, like ahead of them.
Yeah. I mean... It's hard to push on in. With the Pudges there looking for hooks, I mean, as you can see, they've been going for a couple of those fountain hooks. They've already got the racks at bottom, and as far as Invasion Red are concerned, the later this game goes, they're still going to be okay. Windrunner can maybe pick up some more utility items. They can pick up maybe a Sheepstick hero there. Leshrac is getting closer to a Bloodstone. They're still managing to farm up some key items here. So as long as Duskbin aren't doing much, they're not getting towers, they're not actually getting all that much useful items. We are going to see, I believe, a Mantis on Vengeful Spirit now. It's hard for Invasion Red to push on in, so they're just going to play it safe and take their time, wait for this Butterfly on Brood, wait for maybe a Sheepstick up on an Invoker, and just really take their time and play it safe.
Pudge is building. He's almost finished that beacon. In fact, he's got enough for the recipe right now. He's got it done. He will get that shipped out to him in just a second. Yes, the Radiant, they're being very... I mean, they can afford to be passive. They've already got one Rax, like you said, and they have that so much better late game. The Dire just don't have any kind of viable answer. They've got the Vengeful Spirit, but I just do not feel that she can take on this Brood. But we'll see. We'll see what she can do. Maybe they get a couple of lucky teams. I mean, we saw SQL looking like they were about to hit some tight spots, and then just suddenly, fortune favoured them. Had some really good breaks there in the last couple of seconds, especially with that Rosh. That Rosh, but the swap is on an illusion. They're going to mess. Don't ult it. Don't ult it. They realised it's an illusion. Didn't waste their ultimates on it. Meanwhile, Brood pushing top once again. She's being left alone. Completely left alone. She's finished the Butterfly. She's still got the Yasha. She can cause some trouble indeed, although, I don't know, they're still holding off. Invoker with his BKB. He's got the pipe that you called out before. In fact, used all of his drum charges. Could even consider replacing that a little bit later. There's Crystal Maiden. In fact, they've got a replacement drums. Crystal Maiden is carrying one set now. Come on, Pudge. You can land a big base hook. Come on, go for the fountain hook. Although, at the moment, Invasion, they just keep jumping between those. Broodmother just farming non-stop. She can't farm top, goes mid. Can't farm mid, goes bottom. Just everywhere all at once. But
they're still farming, and they can wait for Roshan. That's the other big thing. If they get that Aegis, it's a lot safer than pushing. They're going to go for mid, though. They pop the pipe. If they can get this mid-rax, they've already got one at bottom. This could be what they need. Brood can pop the BKB. Pudge missing the hook. Queen of Pain ulti already getting used. The pipe negates it. ES Echo Slam doesn't really do any damage. Pudge is in there with the BKB and the ulti, but he's taking so much damage. Going to go down. So will the ES. Pudge is going to get sent back to base, though. And so far, only the ES has dropped, as it looks like Invasion Red should be able to take this Rax. They're just 2 farms.
Yeah, and there we go. Losing the Rax. A swap saved there, though, on the Queen of Pain. No, she goes down. Sunstrike not connected. It was aimed for Queen of Pain. She actually just bought back straight again. Broodmother takes out Pudge once again. And they're going to take this over. Here come the Megas. This will be game over. And there we go. Duskbin calling the GG. Well played. And I don't know. I don't know if Duskbin are just not as familiar with the Dota hero roster yet. They're just not as familiar with the competitive use of them. But definitely was a very weird lineup. I would like to see what they do with a slightly more conventional lineup, because the Pudge bottom, definitely very, very odd there.
Yep, and Invasion Red will just wipe them out here. And this is, I mean, you were like, oh, why haven't Invasion Red pushed in here? They just go walk into their enemy base, take a lot of damage, but they've just got so many items, pipe, mech, and just so many high level heroes, and just completely tearing apart Duskbin, as they will get those mega creeps with this bottom range Rax.
Oh yeah,
Brood's just going to take out this range Rax. All the glyph is actually popped.
I mean, they're called GG anyway, so
yeah,
game over regardless.
So, yeah, I mean, Invasion Red, after their earlier defeat to SQL, have pulled things back and managed to get a win here. So they're going to be currently sitting on 1 win and 1 loss in this Group D, which is a sort of interesting group. There's Zenith and then sort of 3 or 4 teams who are fairly evenly matched. And right now, SQL are the team to look out for, who have won 3 games and not lost a single game.
Let's see how they do indeed. Now we've got Neolution versus Duskbin coming up very soon. I'm just going to wait for the... Do you think I should wait for the end of this, or we're just going to cut it here and now? Or we'll go to the guys at GG get
You're going to have to wait for the end. Yeah, man. I don't know if you've read your site, but there was an angry Gosu Game. It's replay guy who messes me. He says, keep the end screen in the VODs. Because on Gosu Gamers, when they upload the VODs, they show the hero bans and picks on a little table. And if they have that end screen, it's a lot easier to do that. They can see who is playing what hero. And also the other thing is, there's people who I don't know if you're aware, there's this stats page for all the competitive Dota 2 games played. The stats have been compiled with like each hero's win-loss record and each team's win-loss record with certain heroes. It's a really cool database.
I haven't seen that database yet. I need to
I'll have to try and find the link for it and give it to you. It has all the stats for competitive games. You can sort of sort it by hero, sort it by team, sort it by player, and it's awesome. So in order for them to get those stats, it's a lot easier if they have the scoreboard at the end of each game.
Fair enough then. I will make sure that we get it every single time. But yeah, it just leaves us with a bit of dead time. But
we can talk.
We can talk.
We've spent hours talking already. So well, on earlier days. Today, actually, things have gone a lot smoother.
No, I just feel, had they had maybe like a slightly stronger semi-carry, like maybe the Mirana up there would have gone a lot better, but still at the same time, I mean, even the Shrek, as much, it was the Shrek free farm, but even as much farm that he did get, it wasn't, he didn't have, like, he wasn't insanely out of control. It was mostly just the Brood Mother that they can't deal with. So I just feel if they had something that could have fought her, gone toe-to-toe with her, a little better than the Crystal, a little better than the Vengeful Spirit, it would have been a lot easier to do with it. Went for the Fountain Hook, unfortunately hooked an ally.
Sunstrike.
And it didn't work.
Sunstrike gets him though. Went for the Fountain Hook, but hooked his teammate instead. Slightly mistimed, and now Invasion Red will finish off the throne. And yeah, man, Invasion Red, they definitely stepped up their gameplay. I think the first game against SQL, it was just a few small mistakes, like losing their courier. I mean, definitely losing the courier was more SQL playing really smart and sort of great map awareness. It wasn't really a mistake by Invasion Red. The big mistake was that Roshan fight, but this game, they played a lot safer when it came to those Roshan fights.
Anyway guys, thanks for watching. We will be back shortly. We have got another Duskbin match coming up against Neolution ASAP, so stay tuned.